If you're struggling with manifestation, like you know that it works, but it's not really working for you in the way that you might want it to, well, this video is going to give you the mindset shift that will change all of that. And once you get this, and trust me, you're going to get this, you'll see that your life just takes on a whole new trajectory. Getting this means that you'll stop focusing on the techniques, because you'll understand that actually the techniques of manifestation are almost irrelevant. They're a means of adopting a different state, which is the crucial bit, but it doesn't matter what technique you use. What matters is the state and where in consciousness you're playing. Like I said before, we exist on 3 planes of existence: the spiritual plane, the mental plane, and the physical plane. If you are spending all of your time and energy focused on the physical plane, you are focusing on something that has already been created. If you want to experience a different reality in your physical plane, you need to focus your attention on the creation plane, which is the mental plane. It is in this plane, it is that plane of consciousness that informs higher self, universal mind, of what to create on the physical plane. And the reason that if you are burning out, you need to slow down and stop, it's because you're being too much in the physical and not enough in the mental, because you're just not giving yourself the space to actually get your consciousness up to the mental plane. And again, I'm saying up to, it's not up to, they're all existing in this now blip. So you need to raise your state of consciousness so you are really aware, because that's what consciousness really is. Consciousness is akin to awareness, yes? So the more aware you are, the more conscious you are. And the more conscious you are, the more you have the ability to perceive being in these different states. So when you can spend more time in the consciousness of your mental plane rather than the consciousness of your physical plane, that's where creation happens. Yeah. When you become really aware of your thoughts, aware of your fears and desires and all of those things, and you actively direct them to the thing that you want to achieve. You see, we've been taught all of these manifestation techniques, but the thing that was definitely missing for me, even though I knew it on like an intellectual level, I could get it on an intellectual level, but for it to actually click properly, it took a little bit. It took a little bit longer. Because the manifestation techniques, they're not the most important bit. The manifestation techniques, the purpose of them is to get you up to the consciousness of your mental plane. So any technique will do, as long as it brings you awareness, as long as it works to serve the reality that you want to be creating. So you can journal, you can do, visualization, you can do speaking as though it's already happened, the telephone thing. You can do whatever you want, as long as you understand that the purpose behind it is to get you into the consciousness of your mental plane. And the other piece to that is you have to go in with that knowing that it is going to work. Whatever technique you choose, you have to know that this is the technique that is going to work for you. Because some won't, some will, some won't. So you just got to keep trying them out, until you really get it. But you actually don't need any techniques whatsoever if you just really click in on this. It's my thoughts, my awareness of my thoughts, my perception of life. that is really attaching me or like grounding me into the mental plane rather than the physical plane. So just think about everything that you've been talking about recently. Think about all the things that you've been thinking. Have they been in service to the life that you want, or have they been working against it? You see, that's what I'm talking about when I say getting awareness over things. Because oftentimes, we'll like meditate or whatever, and then 5 minutes later, we're telling people, oh yeah, it's really not working. Well, whatever you say is true for you. So what are you saying? We're back to this again. And I know that somebody's going to ask me, isn't it just lying? Isn't it all just lying to yourself? If you're saying all these, I'm this and I'm that, and you open your eyes and you can't see it, then isn't that just lying? Well, no, it isn't. From your little human on the planet, from your little human perspective, your little human is seeing it as lying. But from your greater self, if you raise your consciousness so you are occupying the mental plane of existence, then of course it's not lying. Because you know that it is true. You know that it is done. You know that everything is already created on the spiritual plane, and we just get to pick and choose which bits of it we want. And we do that through this focused attention in the mental plane. So no, it's not gaslighting. It's not gaslighting you. It's not gaslighting yourself as long as you know that you're in the mental plane of creation. Because from that perspective, it is the absolute truth. This is what you're creating. It already exists, and you know that it already exists. But for it to come into your life, it takes this little bit of focused attention to bring it from the spiritual plane into the physical plane. And another question that I think I'm going to get asked is, well, how long will that take? How much time do I need to spend in this mental plane before I actually see it in my physical? And my answer to that is, how long's a piece of string, darling? It really is. It'll take as long as it takes. But what will speed up the process is the amount of time that you spend in the mental plane of creation. The amount of resistance that you have to this thing appearing into your life is what will slow it down. So, for instance, the exercise that I gave you, because I like that one really, really works for me. Why am I so rich? Why am I so whatever? Right? That really works for me. I say those words and I just like, I don't know, it works for me. Maybe it doesn't work for you, and that's fine. It's, you just find your own thing. I did that with money, and I found evidence of that working the very next day. My YouTube channel, which is why this is actually quite awesome for me to be talking about this right today. It took 5 days for my YouTube to go. And it's really exciting. But it's also not surprising. It's and it's because I know in my mental plane I knew it already to be true. Yeah. So yeah, this time last week, like what day is it? Today is Sunday, November 16th. Sorry, there's a big siren happening outside. And this time last week, I had about 380 subscribers. And the last time I checked this morning, I had over 4,000 subscribers. I've basically been getting 1,000 subscribers a day since Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday. I've been getting roughly 1,000 subscribers a day so far. The video I put out on last Monday is currently on 60,000 views. And if you scroll down in my channel, you will see that just a month ago, most of my YouTube videos were getting like 25 views, 40 views, things like that. So it can happen quickly. And when it happens, it will happen. And it'll happen as fast or as slowly as your focus concentration dictates. Like my growth chart for my YouTube is hilarious. I'm going to put it up somewhere. I'm going to put it up here somewhere for you to see because it just makes me giggle. I love it. But that's what focusing your attention, raising your consciousness, and just being in this mental plane of creation and knowing that everything that you're creating in your mental plane is what will manifest physically. Now, as you will see, like if you click on any of the videos with 25 or 40 things, depending on how far back you've gone, you'll see that my presenting has changed quite a lot as well. Like when I started, I was very, very scripted because I had important things to say and I wanted to say them succinctly, and I didn't want to, I didn't want to be at all confusing. And I know that now that I'm completely unscripted and I'm just talking off the top of my head, sometimes the wrong words come out, in which case I just put little things up to correct them. So yeah, my presenting style has changed, but that isn't what created that crazy graph, whatever side I put that on, yeah. And the other thing that happened is that I spoke to my coach Chris, and he just put my head back on straight again. Because it's not like I didn't know everything that he was saying. I already knew it. I just needed him to kind of remind me, oh God, yeah, of course that's what I'm doing. So if you're a 6- and 7-figure business owner and you want me to do that for you, then the link to join me on a call is in the comments. Okay, have I missed anything out? I have missed something out. As you do this, yeah, your physical Janet on the planet, that's my physical Janet on the planet, is going to try and stop you. It's going to try and convince you that you're delusional, that this is absolutely ridiculous. What on earth are you doing? That's what my Janet on my planet says sometimes. And then I have to remember that my Janet on my planet is the teeniest, tiniest part of me. Me, the whole of me, is infinite. I am infinite pure love energy. You are infinite pure love energy. That is the essence of you. That is you in the spiritual plane. You are infinite pure love energy, right? I just want you to take a second and just absorb those words, right? Say with me, I am infinite pure love energy. And just breathe. I am infinite pure love energy. And just notice how that feels to you. Because I cannot not smile. I have to smile. Like it's involuntary. The peace that washes over me, the smile on my face, the just like, I don't know, it's like this completeness, this wholeness that I feel when I say that. And I learned that through being in a meditation when I was really ill. I knew that I was, infinite pure of energy. And energy never dies. So when your version of Janet on the planet starts creating havoc, just remember that they're essentially like a child. They are like the 3-year-old at the party that thinks that they're the most important person in the room. And it's not that your physical human isn't important. Of course they are. We get to look after our physical beings. But we also get to govern their behavior somewhat. We also get to catch their thoughts and redirect them if what we really want isn't what we're currently experiencing. Now, this Janet on the planet, as I call my human, what they really want is love and care and attention, and to feel as though they own the show, feel as though they are running it all. And all of their behaviors, all of their patterns of thought, all of their patterns of behavior has helped you to exist in this physical plane until now. And until you gain the awareness to, of consciousness, the awareness of everything bigger than the physical reality, they've been allowed to do that. Yeah, they've been allowed to completely run the show. So of course they believe that they need to. This is how your little human knew to play the game of life, right? It just absorbed everything that it was told was true, instead of creating a new truth for themselves. But if you're here in my world right now, then you're ready to create your own rule book. You're ready to create your own blueprint for your life. And you get to do that in the mental plane by raising your consciousness and being in the mental plane more than you focus on the problems of your physical plane. So that's the mindset shift. That the techniques are only ever to get you to a state of consciousness where you can live, reside, and dwell in the mental plane of existence more than you do the physical plane. You pay more attention to what's happening in the mental plane of existence than you do in the physical plane. And that changes everything. It changes everything. Now, if you are a 6 or 7-figure business owner, entrepreneur, or leader in your field, and you would like some help with this, so you can literally get a graph like that crazy one with your stuff, then the link to join me on a call to see about working together is in the description. And I look forward to speaking with you. And thank you all. Thank you to all of my incredible subscribers. And thank you for all the comments. I will get to answering them all. I really want to address every single query and question that you have. Rude comments, insulting comments, I'm not going to respond to those. But that makes sense, right? I get to control my world and my environment, just like you do in the mental plane. All right. If you have any questions about any of this, then please put them in the comments. And like I say, I really will respond to them. It means a lot to me that you're here. And I am, I'm loving the journey. Now, there's another video that you might find quite helpful that is there. So click on that one next. And I shall see you next time. Take care.